to another video, and sort of not a rant video, but going through a few colognes that I have. There's only 3 here at the moment. That there are classic colognes, fragrances that the reformulations haven't been very good with, whether that be the company taking the shortcut, a cheaper route, or whether it's IFRA forcing them to reformulate and not much they can do. They've tried their best, you know, with the ingredients that are available to make it, try and get it to where it used to be, but it really hasn't happened with these 3 fragrances that I currently have, and it's a shame. Even it just shows that even old school fragrances are now this bans of all these materials and everything is now starting to affect the old school fragrances, which in general most of them, even recent formulations, aren't too bad, and so some of them are almost undetectable, you know, really good. But of recent, last couple of years, I've been noticing that there's a lot that is being affected, and have really gone downhill. They just keep banning stuff and they're having to keep reformulating, and eventually, if they keep at it, all the ones that are still relevant, I think are still good, still relevant, and still worth picking up, those are going to be affected as well. And we'll get to a point, I think, where a lot of even the old school fragrances just won't be able to cope anymore, and just they're just going to disappear, or they're just going to be a shadow of themselves, even from today's formulations, which aren't bad. Eventually, if they keep banning stuff, even those are going to get even worse. And it's a shame, and you see it in a lot of modern perfumery, especially designer, where everything coming out is just smelling like crap. It may, yeah, okay, you can say, oh, it's a trend of a certain smell that I don't like. Yeah, there is that as well, but you know, you smell this stuff and the ingredients is cheap and it just ain't blended well, or maybe it's just the ingredients they're using, and I think it's a combination of both of them, really, in all honesty. They're not putting as much effort in. Things aren't as complex. What people are liking more now, I'm not so keen on, and just the ingredients that they've got to work with isn't as good, due to stuff being banned. So they've got 3 fragrances here which I used to love, and I've felt out of love with. One of them I'll still wear, the other 2 no. One's okay, you know, it's alright, but not a shadow of itself. One's really bad, and the other one, again, not really a shadow of itself, but I'll still wear it. I'll use the bottle, but then I'm not buying another one. So it's not really bad, but it's still, to me, not worth it anymore. So let's get on with the really bad one. It's a Mugler Amen. I thought I'd leave this to this video, and then this one's going in the bin. I wouldn't even give this one away. It's awful. You know, what have you done to this? It's such a shame, because it's one of the most iconic classic fragrances for men there is, and it's now worthless in my opinion. Spray it does open up very similar to the original, with that sort of very strong patchouli and sort of tar note, but then you smell it and you think, well, where's everything else? Is that it? Well, yeah, until you get to the and it's just that for a few hours, and then sort of suddenly it change to the dry down. You think, oh great, the dry down's coming, and it's just a cheap, nasty praline smell. It really, that's all it is. So top notes are there, but it feels thin, and it's like, well, where's everything else? You could still smell. You used to be able to still smell the background, like that little bit of a coffee and chocolate and vanilla backbone. It was still there, but overwashed by the top notes. Now you're just getting the top notes without that backbone. You see, it's a bit shallow. and then it just turned into this nasty praline smell. It's absolutely bloody awful. So this is now going in the bin after this video. I'm not giving it away, no matter what anyone please, I'll have it. If you don't want it, don't chuck it in the bin, it's a waste. Yeah, it is a waste, it's a waste of my time, waste of my money, and I'm not going to give this crap to somebody else. I'm not prepared to give somebody else this stuff put on their skin, not having it. And we should all do the same when they do stuff like this. We just go, nope, and teach them a bloody lesson that we're not going to put up with this shit. So, the first one that's really bad is Amen. And that can go in the bin, in fact. There. Right. Next, I'll take it out of its box. I'll give it its due. You know, it doesn't smell too bad, but it's definitely changed and it's weaker. It's opium, Yves Saint Laurent's opium. Pour on, you know, the toilet. You know, it dries down similar, but it smells watered down. And if you look at the colour of the juice, that used to be like a dark yellow, pissy kind of colour, and very light it is. So it's watered down. There used to be a nice powdery raspberry note when you first sprayed this. That's gone, replaced with like a generic citrus. The powder's been toned right down. This used to be a powdery bomb, and that's what people liked it for. That's gone. You're just left with the other few notes which is dominant in this, or used to be dominant in this. It's sort of like a sandalwood and star anise. Those are still there, but they smell watered down. And even the stuff that you can still, when it dries down, you can still sort of tell it's this cologne, but it's watered down. So you're just getting like a sandalwood and star anise watered down sort of smell. Still lasts okay, you know, still projects alright, but it's no form of itself at all. You know, compared to what the other one was, the eau de toilette of this, it was so strong, you could almost say it was like wearing a cross between an eau de toilette and eau de parfum. The eau de parfum being how long it lasted, but the eau de toilette how much it pushed. It's a beast of a thing. This one, it's like they bought out an eau de cologne version. Yeah. So, and this is the eau de toilette. So, yeah, I'm not really wearing this anymore. I'll give it away, or I don't know what I'm doing with it. It's certainly not staying around in my collection because it's just not what it was. So, opium, pour on. Now the one that I'm going to keep and use up. I think it still smells okay, but again, it's just not what it was, and it is from Chanel, and it is Chanel's Allure Homme. You can still tell it's Chanel Allure Homme, but again, really watered down. It smells like it's been watered down. Now I'm going to wear this for my scent of the day, just to, you know, you start using it up. And yeah, I'm spraying that much because it really doesn't last like it used to. In the air you can still smell that Allure Homme DNA is there, but you don't get that like rich, you don't get that sort of juicy orange kind of note that was there at the beginning. Again, it's just a blend of citruses now. Orange used to be so in your face, it's beautiful. And it's, you know, it's still there. I mean, but you know, did so many sprays like I've just done, you'd have choked yourself out. You know, and it's definitely lighter. The vanilla isn't as rich in here. Spices isn't as high, which is a good thing for me. I toned down the spices a bit in the original, but yeah, like I said, it smells like the original but watered down, and that's what a lot of them are like, you know. And I think it's a combination of using cheaper materials but having to force to, because some materials are being banned. So they do try. I mean, especially Chanel, I don't think they would like what would you call it? People saying things like this about them because they're they're quite a high brand in designer, and I think they would like to keep their reputation, is what I'm trying to say, in their products. But I think they've tried really well with this, and it does still smell nice. It does smell like Chanel Allure on, but it isn't what it used to be. I don't think colognes ever will be, unless IFRA disappears and anybody can wear, perfumers can use whatever materials they want again. So they'll use like proper sandalwood, they use proper citruses and real fruit, like proper vanilla and all that kind of stuff, and oak moss and all that can come back, and musk and all this, and start using proper materials again. But it's not going to happen. Certainly while that IFRA's around, banning all sorts of things all the time, one person gets an allergic reaction, oh there's, what was it, two, that, no that's in here, oh no it's gone. It really is that stupid. And it's a shame. This was one of my favourite colognes of all time. I've gone through many bottles of this, very similar to this. Not as much. I've gone through over 10 bottles of this easily in my lifetime. This is probably more sort of 5 or 6. This is probably my 6th or something like that. This is way over 10. But I just wish, you know, I hadn't had a bottle of this for, this is about a year old, this bottle. Well, when I purchased it anyway. I hadn't had a bottle for maybe 3 or 4 years. So probably by now, it's probably, I hadn't had a bottle for about 5 years. Then the bottle before that I probably had for 2 years. So the last bottle I had would have been 7 or 8 years ago. So 7 or 8 years old. And that was still fine. That was cracking. It was beautiful stuff. Had this one about a year and a half ago. So it must have been within the last few years that this got reformulated. And it's just a shell of itself, really. Anyway, let me know what you think of the video. Any comments of like the topic that I'm talking about, leave a comments below. I'll answer if I can. So thank you very much for watching. I really do appreciate it as always. Leave a thumbs up if you like the video, and subscribe if you haven't already. That would really help me out. And hopefully see you again soon on the next video.